Hi, guys. Welcome back. Many of us experience the freshman 15, but do many of us experience the freshman 100? Today's YouTube channel is Angel Marie TV, and Angel Marie is going to tell us about how she experienced gaining the freshman 100.
Year, you know how you gain the freshman 15? Well, I feel like I gained the freshman 100, in which which it didn't take a whole year or semester to gain that. It took 4 years, and it was because I wasn't doing anything anymore, no activities. I wasn't going to the gym, and I wasn't eating right. I thought I could eat whatever I wanted and still be the same weight like I was in high school. That was not the case. When I was in high school, I did softball, I did dance, I did cheerleading. I did activities. I had gym every day. I did things that kept me in the shape that I was, and I ate like crap. I used to have a big cookie every day in high school, like this big, every day, then some mozzarella sticks, some french fries, and whatever, like, and nothing would happen. And
So if you want to know what I consider to be the number one talking point about what we do here at Walk Talk Vent is by walking every day, we kind of emulate students when they're walking to and from school every day. And I think it's just the best way in the world to keep your weight down.
And I remember one year, I think I was 16, I got really small, where I feel like that was my smallest I've ever been, where I was like a size 8. And you know, I was happy at that weight. I was healthy. And then I think I went up a little bit my senior year because I stopped doing sports. I just decided to work. I quit cheerleading and didn't do softball. So I had gained maybe a little bit more weight. So it was 9, 10-ish. And then I lost it again when I went to this summer program for college in the summer. I got super small there because I didn't eat. The food was disgusting and I just didn't eat, which isn't healthy, but that's what happens. And just venting about, I'm tired of you fat. Like, this is the thing. I never was considered fat all through high school. Basically, I think middle school I was a little chunky, and then I lost it like 7th, 8th grade. So 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th. Then college I wasn't. And then I think my junior, senior year I started gaining weight, so I was considered like big. But I never was big my whole life, and I think it's different for people who have been big their whole life as opposed to someone who was a certain weight and now they are this type of weight, because people tend to say things to you and they tend to get to you. And I remember just like even relatives like, what happened, you used to be thin, or geez, you're fat now. Things like that. Friends, I remember one of my best friends was like, you know, telling me I was gaining weight but trying to do it in a nice way and asking, am I okay? And that was like on the cusp of like, I had just gained like maybe 20 pounds. Yeah. Or I remember meeting a guy and him telling me, oh, you look like a Lane Bryant model. Yeah. And that was like, should I be happy that he called me that? And I wasn't at first. I was like, what? Because, you know, I wasn't used to that type of attention. Someone telling me, like, you are kind of big or you are big. I didn't get that before. So I was like, is that a compliment? And he was like, yeah, definitely. You know, because you're bigger, but you look good. Like, and it was just, like, weird. You know, like, when did I become the fat chick?
I love how she worded that because you know what's interesting? We've done over 120 episodes, right? We've shared a lot of people's stories, but usually when we look at pictures, we usually look at pictures of people that were bigger and how they've slowly but surely become smaller versions of themselves. This was the first time, and I'm glad Angel Marie shared this. This was the first time where we've kind of looked at somebody when they were kind of smaller and we've seen them progressively get bigger. And sometimes people do give us those backhanded compliments, right? Where it's like, I don't know if that was really a compliment or not. In this case, I think it genuinely was, but I can definitely see how she didn't take it the best of ways.
And my confidence started going down, 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 down. I stopped dressing up. I started wearing makeup, which I can do a video about that too, but I didn't wear makeup my whole entire life till I was 22 years old. Swear to God, hand to God, I would only wear lip gloss. And I think one time I tried like some eyeshadow when I was in high school, but I never wore makeup, never thought I needed it because I was too cute. I didn't need makeup, you know, and I was smaller and I just had all this confidence exuding from me and thought I didn't need it. And then as soon as I gained weight, I started wearing makeup every single day. every single day, to compensate for my insecurities, to make me feel better about myself, which isn't good, but that's the reality, and this is me being real. This is what I did. So, and to this day, like, I think my confidence is coming back a little bit, but I'm still not confident. I don't wear makeup every day like I used to, but I wear it to compensate for this, as I say, my body. I don't take any body pics anymore. They are not posted on my Instagram. They are not posted on Facebook, nothing. I don't do it. But yeah, like, I shouldn't have been offended by the Lane Bryant comment, because Lane Bryant models are bomb, but I was. And it's because I'm not happy with myself, and people clearly like to point it out for me, and it makes me feel worse, but I'm trying my best, and I know that eventually I won't be in this body anymore and I can be comfortable, but for now, I'm just not.
I'm so sorry that she's going through that. I think she is a very pretty young lady, and I think she's still at an age, because she looks extremely young. I think she's still at an age where she can obviously get her weight back to where it was, and I think she knows the way to do it. When she was in high school, she was active, she was an athlete, and in her own words, she was small and she could eat whatever she likes. I don't know exactly what her diet is now, but if you want to find out, I urge you to visit Angel Marie's channel. I'll link it in the description of our video here. But subscribe to her videos. She's on a journey of sorts, and I think she is going to get herself back to the weight she wants to be. And speaking of the weight you want to be, if you want to start taking control of your weight and get it under control, go get your shoes. Let's go for a walk. Good morning, venters. Let's have a little talk on proactivity. You know, there's two types of people in this world. There's reactive people that wait till things happen and then they figure them out, right? And then there's people that are proactive that try to come up with plans to deal with things in advance. I don't know if you guys heard about this, but in Nevada, I just found out today that June's data came in from their fire departments and such, and apparently the calls related to heat-related injuries and heat-related issues went up 10 times this June compared to last. And when they asked the various chief of the fire departments down there, I say various because I assume there's probably more than one, right? They had a situation where apparently in June, and I noticed this, I was talking about this the other day. Keep in mind, Phoenix, Arizona and Las Vegas, they're pretty much twins when it comes to how hot it is, except you hear about Phoenix's heat all the time. You don't necessarily hear about Las Vegas's heat on a national level, but I promise you it's the same exact thing. Phone calls went up this past June 10x compared to what they did last June last year. And the fire chief said that the reason this occurred was in June there was a real jump in temperatures where it went from the low 100s to like the 110s out of the blue. And I noted that very situation. It did kind of jump out of nowhere because, believe it or not, when you're in Arizona and Nevada, when you go from 102 to all of a sudden 112 or 113, those are huge jumps. So I had a feeling that I wasn't the only one that was noticing that. And so I'm glad that this little story popped up so I know it's true. But imagine this. Imagine calls not going up twice, but imagine them multiplying by 10x. That is amazing. I knew I wasn't crazy. It didn't go, normally it goes 101s to 105s to 108s to 111s, right? This year it went from 101, 102, all the way up to like 112, 113. In the course of like, it felt like a weekend. It happened. And then just like Phoenix, Las Vegas has had like 15, 20 days in a row where it's been above 107, 108. It's been in that early 110s. And that's just crazy, or 110s, excuse me. That is just crazy. On another crazy note, guys, the people in Houston, Texas, after Hurricane Beryl hit, have been without power for 5 days in a row. So if there's one place where it might even be more miserable heat-wise, it's probably Houston, because I'd imagine it's super hot down there right now, combined with all that moisture in the air from Hurricane Beryl, and all of a sudden you have a situation where you've got some people in some pretty miserable situations down there. I don't know about you guys, but whenever the power's out for 3 or 4 hours, it sucks. And speaking of power being outage, speaking of being proactive, I want to let you guys know in advance that there's supposed to be some monsoon rainstorms, or at least it's supposed to rain this weekend in Arizona. So I'm hoping that I can just kind of time my walks and time my recordings, to kind of fit around the rain. But the reason I want to mention it to you guys is because every now and again we have a storm or a rainy situation where the cable or the internet or the power gets knocked out. So if you see a situation where Walk Talk Vent doesn't pop up a video for one day, I don't want you to think that it's one of those things where I quit or anything crazy. It might just be the weather. And again, if that happens, what I'll try to do is I'll try to time it and put up a video, even if it has to come out later in the morning or this, that, and the other. I will get a video up. But my game plan is for there not to be any problems whatsoever. So if I notice that it's raining like crazy, I'll try to time a walk for a window of time where it's not raining. And I'll try to upload sooner rather than later, just so we have a continuous series of videos. And if there's a real worst case scenario, I might have to upload a partial video. So do you guys remember the other day I was showing you the lady? I think she's from Korea. I don't know why I have that idea, but I have a feeling I talked to her once upon a time, but I don't remember. But anyway, I don't know if you guys remember, but she was sweeping the sidewalk, and if you really looked close, she was actually sweeping the street. And it's one of these things where she kind of gets in a rhythm, and it almost looks like dancing. She gets into it so much, but she's doing it again today. And her sidewalk and street already look beautiful, so I'm not poking fun at her for doing it, but what I'm trying to say is I used to iron clothes. And when I would iron clothes, I still iron, but I used to do them religiously after I did my laundry, because it just really relaxed me. And sometimes you need a habit or a hobby to relax you. And for some people, the habit and hobby is simply sweeping your street or sidewalk. Good morning. A little embarrassing when you're recording somebody and they catch you. But the point I'm trying to make is, not all of us like to play solitaire. Not all of us play Candy Crush. And not everybody likes going on walks. Some of us like to clean our house. Some of us like to sweep the front yard or sweep the sidewalk, Those are all things that are positive. Guys, I think I'm going to try to tell her today, because she's walking every day, and I want her to be a ventor. You guys know who I'm talking about. I notice she wears a red shirt on her walk every day. So I think we're going to refer to her as the Red Ventor. I say that just in case I never get a chance to talk to her. But I'm going to let her know I have a walking channel. We're going to do it today. Come on, Jessie. Have the bravery. Have the bravery. Just tell her. Just tell her. You can do it. All right, this is where Jesse goes deep into his bag of confidence and he says, I'm gonna grab the ventor, I'm gonna get the ventor, we're gonna do this. We're gonna do this. All right, let's see. I have a YouTube channel called Walk Talk Vent.
Oh, okay.
And every day I see you walking by and I tell my viewers, I'm gonna tell her today. So have a beautiful walk. What's your first name?
My first name is LaBeau.
LaBeau, my name is Jesse.
Hi, Jesse.
My ventors always want to tell you, we think it's awesome that you walk every day. Have you always been a walker or have you just started recently?
I used to walk and then I stopped for like a year, so I just picked it up again.
Now, when you were walking before you quit for a year, did you find that it's a real great way to keep your weight at a certain level?
It is. Actually, I gained a lot of weight. I was doing a lot of stuff, you know. I prefer to walk because it clears my mind, you know, to start my day like that. It's really good to start my day.
So you're saying even besides physical, it has a mental aspect. That's what I tell people. So
Yeah.
I'm trying to get people around the world to walk. So LaBeau, good job. Keep up the walk.
Thank you. What did you say your channel was?
Walk, Talk, Vent.
Okay.
And we want you to join us. I've got like 500 subscribers, so if you join us, yes. But we're very proud of you. We see you out here every day. Have a great day, LaBeau. All right. So now she knows. Walk, Talk, Vent. So just like that, let's talk about LaBeau, right? So she doesn't have to be the red ventor. Now she can be LaBeau. But what she did was very interesting because I've talked about this on the show. Some people are going to walk, notice that they love it, notice that it has not only a physical but a positive mental aspect to it. And what happens is sometimes when we know this, and then there's a storm or an illness or a surgery that you're recovering from or a vacation where you go out of town for a couple weeks, all of a sudden that can easily equate to a situation where, you know, all of a sudden you're not walking. And what happens when you're not walking? Well, all of a sudden you don't care if you drink sweet tea or soda. In other words, you don't care about the staying with your goal to drink water constantly, right? And once you start drinking sweet soda or Pepsi or sweet tea, what happens? You say, yeah, bring me that cookie. Yeah, bring me that piece of cheesecake. By the way, is it hard to deny yourself a piece of cheesecake if it's offered, right? So you have these situations where it's easy, like LaBeau said, from walking every day, knowing that it helps you physically, knowing that it helps you mentally, and all of a sudden you have a situation where you're out of sorts. You haven't worked out in months. All of a sudden the weight comes back. All of a sudden you realize, my God, I miss taking my walk. So just like LaBeau, you start picking up your walking routine again. So she ditched it for a year, but she comes back and all of a sudden she's walking each and every day. Those are things that are cool. Those are things that are encouraging. So LaBeau, good for you. Hopefully you're a ventor, and if you are watching this video, let us know down in the comments. So I just think that that's awesome. Hopefully she sees the videos where I was trying to talk to her and kind of chickened out and stuff, and then she'll know deep down we've wanted her to be a ventor for a while. So I love the fact that she brought up the idea that not only does it help you in a physical way, but it really does help you in a mental way as well. I think the mental aspect might even be bigger than the physical aspect. Because think about this. When you're walking, if you feel mentally better than you did before you started walking, then who cares about the physical side, right? We need something in this world where we can go to it, jump into our think tank, go back to being rational. Sometimes we get angry. You know, yesterday, 2 cents kind of ruined my walk. You might not have noticed it because, you know, the recording goes on, but I wanted to talk about anything but 2 cents yesterday, and I ended up talking about 2 cents simply because he had to open his mouth and throw in his 2 cents, therefore the name. You know, sometimes we have these situations where I was not expecting 2 cents to fill the role of Dale. yesterday, right? But the reality is, we can even be proactive about that. We can tell ourselves, you know what? Instead of seeing 2 cents and immediately thinking something negative like, oh, what comment is he going to make? We can kind of poke fun at it and say, you know what? 2 Cent makes a lot of funny, goofy comments. He's willing to show his butt on TV for us. That sounds to me like a positive if you're trying to have a YouTube channel, right? So we're no longer going to look at 2 Cents like, oh, geez, what negative stuff is going to come out of his mouth today? Instead, we're going to look at it and say, hey, Mala, 2 Cents is what makes my channel feel like a soap opera to you, right? We have positive people like Brett and LaBeau and Stacy and Mrs. Overton, but we also have some negative people like 2 Cents, you know? We have a dog that comes in, pretty girl, right? So before you know it, your boy has not only 500 subscribers, but we also have a situation where we've got about half a dozen co-stars. So I don't know about you, but I think that's awesome. And I had a funny thought yesterday. Not only does our nemesis 2 Cents walk consistently, which is a good thing. I like to see him walking, believe it or not, you know. But he also has a dog. That dog tried kind of lunging at me once. So even the dog is kind of like Gargamel's cat from Smurfs, right? And what's interesting, I had a thought. Do you guys remember Gargamel's cat from the Smurfs? I used to love the Smurfs. You know, Gargamel is the reason that Smurfette came to be. I believe he magic potioned her to life. Or I think that was the story. Do you guys remember the story? How did Smurfette come to be? If you guys remember, let me know down in the comments. And if you don't remember, maybe Google it and still let us know down in the comments. But I think Gargamel, with the help of his cat Azrael, I think they actually created Smurfette, if I remember right. Which kind of adds an interesting little loop to the story. But here's the reason I brought up 2 Cent's dog. 2 Cent is the guy that yesterday, you know, showed us his butt, but I promise you, I have other videos where he and I have argued and stuff, but I just never showed him. Maybe in the future I'll show him. Let me know down in the comments if you'd like to see the video I have where he and I argued, and I'll see if I can find it if I didn't erase it. But whatchamacallit, the reason I brought up his dog is just like Gargamel's cat Azrael, 2 Cents' dog doesn't necessarily like me either, right? Which is okay, not everybody's gonna like you. But what if Pretty Girl's boyfriend was 2 Cents' dog? That would be kind of like a complete circle, right? Wouldn't that be crazy? You find out that that mangy looking old dog is 2 Cents, is Pretty Girl's boyfriend. That would be just an amazing, perfect little bow to put on the story, right? And wouldn't it be funny and interesting if 2 Cents became a ventor? Oh my God, tell me that wouldn't be a beautiful story if LaBeau, Brett, Mrs. Overton, Stacy, and 2 Cent ended up becoming ventors. Then all of a sudden you've got a cast of about 6 dozen little co-stars. And wouldn't it be cool if LaBeau started being one of our ventors that actually left messages on the daily? You know, if any of you guys have been thinking about doing a YouTube channel and you do it from the standpoint of, hey, we are friends and allies of Walk Talk Vent, and you somehow vlog it and keep track of it, we will be there with you. So if you are an up-and-coming YouTuber and you've gotten a hold of our channel and you want to implement the 3 tenets, right? Walking, water, and avoiding sugar, and the 2/3 rule, and you want to try a challenge, and you want to go that route, I'll share your YouTube channel with our audience. I don't think we need to be enemies, foes, competitors, rivals. I think what we need to do is we need to work together and change the world. So here's my declaration to all people that are doing a YouTube channel. If you don't see Walk Talk Vent as your enemy, in other words, if you're not against us, then you're with us and we're going to be with you too. I want everybody, regardless of their diet and exercise plan, I want everybody that embarks on a diet and exercise journey to succeed. And I'm just going to declare it on behalf of all ventors. We want every single person in the world to succeed at their diet and exercise plan because we want everyone to have extra time with their family. That's super duper important to me. If I can help you guys extend your life so you can see the grandkids graduate from high school or college, then I want to do that. For all my new YouTubers or subscribers or people that just found the channel, this is one of the things I'm really proud of with our neighborhood. We have these cute little free libraries where you can take a book and share a book. There's a lot of used books in there with covers and stuff that are wrinkly. That shows you that there's some books in there that were good enough to actually be read. So we have these two streets over on this side of the school where they have these little free libraries. And if you're the type that loves the idea of reading books to kids in your neighborhood, maybe you can reach out to your city or state or thelittlebook.org and see if that's something that you can apply in your neighborhood. Do you know how good that would make me feel to hear that one or two of you decided to put up a little book library in your front yard for the kids? That's magical. That's where you're starting to apply good things. That's where, if there is a God, God is going to smile down on me. When you can share good things that help people do good things and become closer to their family, my God, I don't know if you can work your way into heaven, but if you could, that would be the way to do it, you know? If I have some people out there that don't really believe in the Lord like I do, and all of a sudden they feel like this channel has changed their life and they want to give the Lord a second chance, my God, that's got to get me into heaven. Jesse, it's not about good works. It's about faith in the Lord. You got to believe in him. Yes, yes. But good works don't hurt. It's supposed to be faith and good works. No, it's not, Jesse. Just faith. Okay, faith alone. Okay. Okay, my little heathen Christian brother, yes. Yes, you are right. But remember, if you love the Lord, it is your job to show that love through your good works. Amen. I think we can all believe in that, right? My channel is amazing because of you ventors. Not the subscriber number. There's people that have gotten subscribers in one video, right? But that's what makes you guys so fantastical. My numbers for subscribers go up every day, anywhere from 1 subscriber to maybe 10, right? On average, about 3 or 4 a day. It goes up every day, a couple more. We're getting ventors added to our flock every single day. And some of those ventors watch the video all the way through. So I have a situation where not only did I hit my subscribers, but I hit my watch time hours. But here's the cool thing, because I told myself that this is going to take a good year before you start to see movement. I've set it up where when I go into the monetization, I want to do it smoothly and without stress. So instead of immediately applying for it, I'm trying to fix my banner, I'm trying to fix my logo. There's a chance that they might strike me back with a, hey, you know, you're not approved because you've got a lot of reused content. Because what I try to do when I share another YouTuber's diet story or diet plan is I try to obviously make my own commentary on their video. But from what I understand, sometimes the YouTube algorithm and the YouTube people that determine if you're eligible for monetization, from what I understand, sometimes they frown upon that reused content. So I kind of have to see if mine falls under fair use or not. And you know what? If it doesn't, then I might have to make a change in the future where it's just the walk. Oh my God. If it's just the walk, a lot of you guys might not have any interest in the show anymore. But you want to know something? If that's what we have to do, then that's what we have to do. The beauty of the show is not necessarily just the idea that we're showing other people's accomplishments and other people's failures or struggles. The point of the show is that we get each person in the world to start walking. So just know that's the ultimate goal. I love sharing stories of other YouTubers. If you are another YouTuber that's doing a diet and exercise plan and you want to try to reach out to me and see if I can get our videos on you to follow you, do it for the right reason. You know, if you're doing a channel on dining and on movies, you know, don't change your channel to an exercise channel just so we put our eyes on you, you know? And keep in mind, I have a lot of people and videos that I've already got kind of lined up. So if I tell you guys, hey, I'm going to do a video on such and such, it might not necessarily be for a couple of days, you know? So you got to be patient. And if I ever get to the point where I have 1 million people reaching out and saying, hey, can you cover me? Can you show people what I'm doing? Just know that, you know, I can only do one at a time. But again, if you guys know of new YouTubers or old YouTubers, you saw a video, let me know about it. Believe me, I look at all those people you guys share. Sometimes they just have videos where they have music or people singing in it, and it's hard for me to remove that type of music where there's lyrics. I can remove beats. So if somebody has background music, I can remove the beats, but if that background music person is singing, then my software just assumes it's a person talking, and I'm having a hard time removing that. Now, I'm sure if I was a professional editor, I would have ways of getting rid of that, but, you know, I'm a one-man army. You know, it's interesting, if I told myself, you know, Jesse, you're going to be doing about 4 or 5 hours a night, all combined with your walk, on this new adventure called YouTube, I would have said, oh God, I don't think that's doable, because I honestly thought it would be a half-hour walk, I record it, and it would be another 45 minutes to an hour to do editing and stuff. Not even close. Guys, it takes me about 45 minutes to 2 hours just to figure out the right guest that I'm gonna have on the show, you know? Then it takes me another 45 minutes just to kind of figure out how to put that first 10 minutes of the show together. And then I have to combine it with my walk from the previous morning, right? So it's like the first half of the show very rarely matches up with the second half of the show. In case you're wondering, it's because I'm recording one in the morning and then the first part of the show later that evening. So I'm recording it kind of backwards. But either way, it comes together. And if you watch enough of them, you start to get the overall theme. The overall reason for the beginning part of the show is to show you guys that ultimately there's 1,000,001 ways to skin a cat. There's 1,000,001 ways to be successful at a diet. But there's also 1,000,001 ways to fail, right? We see a lot of people every day and they're struggling. Why do I show their struggle? Is it to bring people down? No, it's to uplift you. Because when you're struggling, what's the one thing you want to know? You want to know that you're not alone. You want to know that you're not on an island experiencing these tough trials and tribulations by yourself. Because if you were, that would be easy to just throw in the towel and quit. You don't want to quit. Keep things going. You got this. I can do this. You can do this. We can do this. Let's do this. Yeah. And hopefully we just gained a new ventor there in LaBeau. I'm glad we found her name, because I don't know if she wanted to be referred to as the red ventor. But maybe we can still keep the red ventor as her little, I wanted to say gangster name, but we're not a gang here. Her ventor name, let's go that route. Gangster name. LaBeau, if you're watching, I'm not equating you to a gangster, but you were about to be the red ventor. Actually, that'll be a fun nickname, right? We've got LDM for Let's Do Math. Sean just goes by Sean, right? So we've got LDM for Let's Do Math, and we got the red ventor and pretty girl. A nice little set of characters. Hey, good morning.
Morning.
Beautiful poodles. I always used to tell people, because I had a poodle, but I'm not the type that, you know, gets a dog and then learns everything about the breed. I just enjoy the dog for being the new family member like anybody else, right? I thought we were gonna make it through without the camera turning off, but the battery died, but that's okay. We were proactive and had another battery on us, so we were able to switch out the batteries, and here we go. So anyway, I just thought that would be fun. We're starting to get little guest stars on the show, right? If all of a sudden you guys can know the names of the characters just like I do, occasionally I don't see them if they're behind me. You guys with the video might be able to say, hey, I saw Brett. Hey, I saw Mrs. Overton. Hey, I saw so-and-so. I absolutely love my walks. Everybody that walks that we talk to talks about the benefits of walking. So when you see that solitary guy or girl that's walking your neighborhoods every day, before you were walking and you were wondering, golly, that person walks a lot. They weren't necessarily walking for no good reason. They might have been forced to walk for their health, but now everybody that walks tends to keep doing it. Why? Because they love it. You know, you start a gym membership, what's the first thing you do? You call your friend Becky to see if she wants to get a gym membership with you. Why? Because misery loves company. Well, when you're walking, you don't necessarily need a walking partner. Why? Because it's nothing like misery. There's no misery in walking. It's fun, it's enjoyable. You get thoughts that are spurred on just by the movement of your limbs. I'm telling you, if you have a walking partner, Rochelle, you can let us know this. Cycling Rochelle is one of our walking partners that's constantly walking with her sister and her nephew. Rochelle, correct me if I'm wrong, but when you and your sister are walking, do you guys have wonderful conversations? There's something about the brain that when your blood is flowing, you get ideas. You all of a sudden start to be energized, and you can have the best conversations of your life when you're walking with a friend. But even if you're walking alone like Lily or Sean or Mala, you're gonna notice you get some of your best ideas. So when I talk about jumping into your think tank and solving problems, how do we deal with the 2 cents of the world? How do we deal with Dale and Karen at work? Yes, if they're making your life miserable, find a new job. But if they're not making your life miserable and they're just being that squeaky, annoying wheel every day in your life, right? Then what you can do is you can proactively make a decision that you're gonna try not to deal with them anymore. You're not gonna let them bring you down anymore. And maybe you can even empathize and say, you know what? Dale has his job to do, and his job is to make sure that I'm at my best. He might not be going about it the best way, but he's trying. And he's the supervisor of the show. So you know what? Let Dale be Dale. Don't let that affect you. And if it does affect you because he's going above and beyond making your life miserable, then like LDM said, like Let's Do Math said, you know, sometimes for your mental health, you gotta get a change of scenery. And I would agree with that. And that goes for neighborhoods too. If you're out and about your neighborhood and you start to realize there's a lot more 2 cents than there are LaBeaus and Bretts, then it might be time to pick up and move from the neighborhood. In my case, I've seen the neighborhood degrade through the years, but I still very much love my neighborhood. That's why things like squirrely, suspicious characters upset me, because I want them to become less and less, not more and more, you know? And hopefully you have the love for your neighborhood too. So stay positive. Everybody we talk to that walks has some sort of positive story to tell us about it. Man, if you don't have enough inspiration and reason to start walking today, I don't know how much more reason I could give you. We are a team. If you're a ventor now, you've got a walking team. We walk every single day. And you know what? My favorite YouTubers are people that upload every day. So if you enjoy walking with us, just know we're going to upload videos daily of the walk. Let's do this together. I'm your walking partner. Let's go. And when you walk with me, not only do you walk with me, you walk with hundreds of ventors that are just like you. So let's keep this thing going. I haven't heard from Sherry Ann or Sheila in a while. Sherry Ann and Sheila, if you guys are still with us, let us know. If you're not, our doors are always open. And remember, that goes for all of you. Sometimes we get away from walk, talk, vent in our daily walk, but that doesn't mean that we're going to be away from it forever. You're always welcome back. This is really the way to get control of your life. Anyway, I hope you guys have a beautiful, beautiful day. Happy Saturday. We'll see you later.